Hello and welcome to our Treasure Coast Senior Placement Solutions webinar entitled The Hidden Warning Signs Families Miss Before a Senior Crisis. Today is an engaging workshop, and our goal is that you'll know the signs and act before a crisis strikes. We're here to protect the ones we love. And welcome again. As we get started, I want to introduce myself. My name is Faith Marie Griffiths. I'm a master trained registered nurse. I'm also a dementia board certified practitioner. I'm an ALF administrator. I'm a senior placement advisor. I'm a wife and a mother and a powerful attorney for my parents. So at Treasure Coast Senior Placement Solutions, we believe no family should navigate senior care decisions alone. That's why we're here to help you. We've walked the walk. Now let's talk the talk. We're an RN led team and we provide personalized guidance, compassionate support, local Treasure Coast expertise, hands on placement assistance, and we're always free to the community. We get paid by the facilities after the seniors are placed. So we're always free to you. Helping Treasure Coast families prepare for confidence and care is what we're here to do, to educate and equip you so you can act accordingly. So, whether you're planning ahead, helping aging parents like myself, or simply want to understand your options, this free workshop is for you. At the end, we're going to offer you a free bonus, free senior living readiness checklist that we've created and shared with individuals that have been very helpful. And who we serve the entire Treasure Coast, Port St. Lucie, Stewart, Fort Pierce, Vera Beach, Palm City, Jensen Beach, Sebastian, Hope Sound, Tradition, St. Lucie West, Jupiter. We're here to serve everyone. The right place, the right care for mom and dad. What you will learn during this engaging hour is how to recognize signs that it may not be safe for mom and dad to be home alone, how to differentiate between assisted living, memory care, independent living, and we have two more to let you know about. What are the safety warning signs to watch for at home? And how to choose the right community. Now, let me ask a question. How many of you are caring for a parent, spouse, or loved one right now? Me. What's your biggest fear about your aging loved one? For me, my parents falling. My dad uses a walker, my mom uses a cane. So that's the biggest challenge. Forgetfulness, because as they age, like, they do get forgetful. And sometimes they might drive past the home. Sometimes they might forget to turn the stove off. That's a big fear for me. Have you ever wondered if your loved one is not safe at home? If it's time to transition into a senior living home? We hope that after today's session, you'll have that in your mind. Why this topic matters. 1 in 4 seniors experience a falls related injury every year. That's quarter of all seniors. Dangerous. 70% of family members miss early cognitive warning signs. And we're going to share with you some of the cognitive signs that are easily missed. And $36,000 annually is spent, that's an average, that's spent annually on assisted living, the cost of assisted living in the US. So right now you will have assisted living, and we're going to share some data with you. Above that, greater than assisted living is home care. It's greater than that $36,000. And greater than home care is your nursing home, which is almost double the cost of assisted living. So early detection changes outcome. That's why we're here. And I'm going to show you from Care Scouts, the Genworth calculator, what it costs to be in these homes. So, as we mentioned earlier, I put in when you get on the calculator, and it's on our website. If you go to our website, tc-seniorliving.com, you'll see on our FAQs one of the information about utilizing the calculator. And it'll have you put your location in. It'll have you put the years that you want to look at the cost. So we wanted to compare 2025 last year to this year, 2026. So it says a home care for non-medical caregiver. It costs in 2026 $5,892 to have a home care. Non-medical come to your house. Private duty is like $357 an hour. So it depends on how many hours you want them for. For assisted living, it costs about, for a private one bedroom, $5,750 a month. And these are monthly. I put the monthly cost I wanted in. You can do daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. So for the month, it costs average an assisted living, and that's 5,750. And that's looking mainly at the memory care version as well. It's kind of a little cheaper for our assisted living, maybe starting at 3,500. But memory care is greater. Normally starts about 4,500, 5,000. But nursing home, look at the cost of nursing home, double the cost of your assisted living. 10,000. That's a semi-private room, $10,652, or private room is $11,122. Have might be fallen, broke a hip, or broken their knees, or they're not able to walk anymore. They have to go to a nursing home. They cannot go to a assistive anymore because they need the ability to stand. If they cannot stand, they go to a nursing home where they get skilled nursing, physical therapy, occupational therapy to keep them functional. All right, so that's the cost of care in the US. So that's what we wanted to share with you using that calculator. Again, early detection changes outcome. Here are the 6 groups that we did it, right? So 6 subtle areas families often overlook or miss when it comes to their senior loved one. 6 categories. So we have the physical health, we have the cognitive changes, home safety, social withdrawal, financial red flags, and medical neglect. And we're going to present each slide to you. But just for overcap, physical health could be your frequent falls, the bruises, the pain, the fatigue. Your cognitive changes includes memory loss, confusion. Your home safety includes hazards for slip and falls, hygiene, the poor kept home, spoiled foods in the fridge. Your hygiene, poor hygiene, isolation, withdrawal, on oatmeal that's piling up. Something is wrong. Your financial red flags include spending, overspending, scams that they, get involved in, driving accidents or dents on vehicle. And your medical neglect includes missed or overdoses of medication, forgetting to go to their appointments. Those are important red flags that families often miss. So the first warning sign we want to look at is our physical warning sign. All right. So watch out for these physical changes: unexplained bruises or frequent falls, dramatic weight loss or weight gain without explanation. The weight loss could be due to they're not eating, they're forgetting to eat. She had it in the microwave, and what is this doing in the microwave? It was dinner time. And she said, "Oh, that was my breakfast. Oh, I forgot. I thought I ate it." Dangerous, right? Poor personal hygiene or neglect, grooming. So So there are some seniors, sometimes you go there and they're always in the same clothes, always with the stain, the same stain on the clothes. They didn't change it. They might not have had a bath. They might not recall rising from a chair or climbing stairs. Could be because they fell and broke their hip or hit their knee and it's painful, so they have difficulty, getting up. Complain of pain they previously didn't mention. Again, could be due to a fall, could be due to other things, but we need to get them seen by a doctor immediately. And extreme fatigue or sleeping for far more than usual. Those are warning signs that the families need to address and they normally sometimes miss. Our second slide, we look at the cognitive or memory changes that happens. So memory loss is not a normal part of aging. If it's happening, something else is going on. So sometimes we have our seniors getting lost in familiar places. I remember my dad was driving home. He went to the supermarket with my mom. He was driving home and he passed the house and he's driving. And my mom's like, "You just passed the house." He said, "No, no, no, we didn't pass it yet." He kept driving, driving. And then he was like, "This doesn't look familiar." And she's like, "Because we passed the house half an hour ago." So they're driving to the grocery store or the doctor's appointment, and they pass it because they missed it. You know, so listen, those are warning sign. Another family member, we had a senior, and his son called us that he wanted to place that in a home. He's a little forgetful, and we mentioned to him that memory care might be the better option for him. And he said, "Oh, we're not ready. We're not ready." The next call we got was that the dad had driven past the house, driven out of state, and because the son had a tracker in the car, he was able to see where he was, call the police, and have them guide him back home. And at that point, he decided to place him in memory care. Very, very important that we address those. Repeating questions minutes apart. So it's not just forgetfulness, it's a sign of their short term memory loss. They keep repeating the same question over and over. Um, then we have trouble managing medication. Could be that the senior is skipping doses or they're double dosing. Oh my God, that's dangerous. Or mixing up their pills. And again, my dad had that issue. So we had to prepare the pill box weekly. I did that. And then I also had my sister go over, check on him, and a nurse, a visit nurse will check to make sure they're doing um, taking the right medication. So very important. Sometimes they're having difficulty with word finding, like struggling to name a common object or something. So I remember after my dad had a stroke and he came home and we were caring for him. I mean, after a while, he started calling his wife mom. He's like, "Mom," he forgot her name. He's like, "Mom," because he had short-term memory loss. "Mom, mom." And at that point, we realized something is going on. We needed to act for a transition. There's also times when they have mood shift, withdrawal because they're like they don't understand what's going on with them. They feel confused. So that's also a sign. If they're always a bubbly person, they're not withdrawn from family, not answering the phone when you call them, and they know it's a daughter or a son, that's a sign. Our third category we're looking at tonight is the home and safety red flags. A walk through their home can reveal more than any conversation with them. All right, so we're going to look at two things: the home interior, the warning signs, and safety hazards. So, under the home interior, you see piles of unopened mail or unpaid bills. That's a sign that they're not engaged anymore. Something is going on with mom or dad. Spoiled or expired food in the refrigerator, scorched pots from stovetops. Twice we went to our mom's house, to our parents' house, and I saw a pot was black. I said, "Mom, why is this pot black?" She forgot to turn off the stove, and she had some water making something, and she forgot it and went to sleep. And she woke up to the pot being so black, and the house a little smoked. Oh my God, we panicked. We're like, "Mom, it's time to consider senior living. This is not safe, or get somebody to come and live with them." Sometimes there's broken or unsafe furniture not yet repaired, and they can't explain why this is broken and what happened to it. Under safety hazards, we have strong odors in the home. You visit mom and dad, and there's urine scent, there's garbage smell, there's smoke in the house. Something happened. Something is happening that needs your intervention. There's trip hazards, rugs, cords, clutter in the hallway that wasn't there before. Again, it's just gonna be a fall, awaiting a fall. We've got to intervene at that point. Miss grab bars in the bathroom. At this stage, most seniors should be having grab bars in the bathroom to hold on to. So if there's a missing grab bar, somebody fell, something happened in that bathtub. That could be the bathtub or the bathroom, and they fell. So we've got to look into it. Something happened. You got to ask the question. And unfamiliar or confused strangers, phone calls coming to the seniors' home. Something is going on. They must have called accidentally or called thinking that they're calling you, a child or grandchild, and they called the wrong person. So ask yourself, would I be comfortable with my child being around the situation? Mom and dad declining. We've got to act. We see these warning signs. Social and emotional withdrawal is also a trigger for our seniors. And they'll say, I just don't feel like going out anymore. Now, my mom is a social butterfly. So if I should hear that, that's a big warning sign. So this statement can signal depression, feeling of fear of falling, cognitive decline, or grief. Withdrawal from hobbies or clubs they once loved. Big warning sign for a person who is always out there, extrovert. Now, answering calls or returning family messages from families. You call mom, dad, leave a message, and no answer. Persistent sadness, tearfulness, or expression of hopelessness is a big warning sign. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. So that's a big warning sign for any expression of hopelessness. Irritability, anger, anxiety, especially a new onset. That's a big one. That really ask them if they've ever feel abandoned or worthless, and have them explore seeing the doctor again, because there could be something for medication therapy at this point, or as we say, a placement into memory care. Financial red flags. Seniors lose an estimated $28.3 billion annually to financial exploitation, those scams. Oh my God. Oh, dangerous. So we're going to look at two categories: cognitive related change signs and potential exploitation. Cognitive related signs: they're forgetting to pay regular bills, confusion about bank statements. Dad, what's going on? He's like, oh, somebody took money out of my bank, but he had spent it. So we had that happen to us as well. We had to call the bank, and the bank was like, well, your dad. So we had to explain that to him. Buying duplicate items repeatedly, giving away money or possession, um, all of a sudden, like, what's going on? Potential exploitation includes sudden interest from new friends or caregivers. They're trying to scam them of the money. Unfamiliar signatures on checks or documents. Like, who is this? Whose name is this? Changes to the will or power of attorney. Something has happened. Somebody is talking to them, changing their mind about stuff that is not you. Dangerous, especially if you're the power of attorney. And with those phone and email scams that we often get, oh my God, that break their heart, and you're giving money away, not realizing it's a scam. So, as a takeaway, it's good to review their finances together and just say that I'm not taking, this away from you, but let us work on this account. Let's look at your bank account and see if there's anything has changed. This is like a family legacy to help work together, and that will make him not confrontational, but might be want you to work with them. All right. And the final warning sign we want to look at are medical and medication neglect. A skipped prescription, full bottles are still in the house that should be halfway, or it's almost empty when it's just 2 weeks in a month. So, they didn't take their meds. And the latter is that they are overdosing on their medication. They're taking too many meds. This is a big, 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 big red flag that needs to be addressed. We need, um, them to be seen where they can have a medication management. Missed appointments, no show to regular checkups, especially specialist, not good. Dismissing symptoms. They're saying it's nothing. I just had a little chest pain here, or I was dizzy, and I fell outside, but it's nothing. I was short of breath going up the stairs. It's nothing. It is a big deal. We've got to intervene. Medication confusion, wrong doses, mixing medication together, not knowing what and when to take their meds. So although they have the pill box with morning, evening, night, they're just mixing it up because they're short term memory, they're confused, and they need intervention. And finally, we have to help them to basically get it, meet with them and have them know that we're here to help them and work with them. So now that we've looked at what's going on, the stats, when you see the signs, what should you do? As a family, a daughter, son, or grandkids, what should you do as a family? Number one, start a calm, caring conversation with your loved ones. Avoid accusatory language. Lead with love. I've noticed something and I'm worried about you, mom and dad. And then you go into it. Number two, document what you observe. Write dates, specific behaviors, and incidents that's critical. And at the doctor's appointment, visit with them and discuss it with the doctor. So, doc, I've seen such and such with mom and dad. Um, what do you think? Can we explore? Three is schedule a doctor visit together. Offer to attend calmly and ask them, have them assess cognition, medication, and fall risk. Explore community resources. And at the end, we'll have you see some slides on the area agency on aging is very, very good about Meals and Wheels, caregiver training, senior centers, meal delivery, and home care options. Um, Also, the constant aging in your area is very good at that. And we do have the resources at the end. Um, and finally, five, plan your legal obligation early. Like, who's the power of attorney? That we need to have a power of attorney just because you're getting older, mom, you're getting older. Your decision needs to be, to a caring um, child, son or daughter, or a grandchild is caring for them as well. A healthcare surrogate, a power of attorney, advance directive should be passed on at this point in life to someone who can speak for them, who is their voice, to care for them more meaning. All right, so those are five areas that the families not just need to start discussing right now as they see their loved ones transition. At what point should families start discussing senior living? Number one, before a medical crisis, like right now. You're seeing signs. So we gave you six of those categories. Right now you should be discussing it before a medical crisis. Number two, after repeated falls. You've got to discuss it before they break something and end in a nursing home. That's the final stage, really, because they're now transitioning downward. Increasing caregiver burnout. My mom was my dad's caregiver, and at times when she was experiencing burnout, we start looking for, as I'm going to mention later on, respite care, where she could get a break. All right, so that's an option that is there where you put the caregiver in, get them to rejuvenate, um, de-stress, and put the senior into a loving home for like a 2 weeks, a month, while the caregiver kind of get back and de-stress and get back to caring again. Then you should discuss it when they start wondering or you see memory issue. I had a daughter come to us, and she said her dad was in the middle of the night would get out. He didn't want anyone to live with him. He was home alone, but he would sleep. He had a caregiver 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then she put him to bed and he slept. 11 p.m., midnight, he woke up. He got outside. He was knocking at the neighbor's house, and they would call her. They knew her. Like, you got to go get your dad. He's at our door. And after multiple times, they're like, "We're calling the police next. We're not going to call you. This is dangerous to have your dad wandering at nights." So she had to transition him to a facility to help. Unsafe medication management. Again, we spoke earlier. If you see your parents, your loved ones overdosing, they're taking double dose, or they're underdosing, they're not taking their medication, or they're mixing the medication up anytime, any day, anytime, anywhere, it's time for to be placed, might be in a assisted living where they do medication management with them. Difficulty with bathing, dressing, cooking, grooming. That is a warning sign. They're not changing their clothes, they're not grooming, they're cooking, but they're leaving the stove on, they forget to turn it off. It's time to discuss senior living with your loved ones. And when we say discuss senior living, there are about 5 options that we wanted to address with you. So the first option is independent living. So they're they no longer want to be home alone, but they're still independent. So there's independent living facilities out there, similar to the Golden Girls. They're independent in everything they do. They do their own care. They do their own medication. They're okay with it. They just want to be in a group setting. So that's what independent living is. For active seniors needing convenience and community, no care. That's independent living. Then there's assisted living, where the senior at this point need help with all their activities of daily living. Their grooming, their bathing, their dressing, their medication management, their transferring, toileting. They need assistance. And that's how senior assisted living facilities come in. The next stage to that is the memory care, which again could be the same as assisted living. However, it's specialized dementia, Alzheimer's care for safety and support. So some facilities have both assisted living and memory care. Some have either or. All right. So those are different though. If you only need care, it's assisted living. If you need some memory, cognitive reassurance and getting back, it's now the memory care. Then we have respite care that we talked about earlier for the caregivers. So it's giving the caregivers a break, a rest to rejuvenate while others care for the senior for a short time. As I mentioned, a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months is up to you to make that decision. And then you can also, from respite care, transition into assisted living if it becomes convenient. And then you have adult daycare, where the adult is not at home alone all day while you work, but they're at a daycare for adults while you're at work, and you drop them off in the morning, and when you return from work, you pick them up and take them home, and they have them engage them with activities to keep their mental mind working. So those are the senior living options available to us. And I gave you some examples of how to start a sample conversation with your mom and dad. So you've noticed memory issue. You'll say, "Mom and Dad, I've noticed you mentioned that event a few times. I just want to make sure everything is okay. Would you be open to a quick checkup together at a doctor? I'm going to call the PCP and have him a look. You're concerned about safety at home." You say, "Mom and Dad, I was reading about how common falls are, and it made me think about your home. Could we take a walk through together? I'll feel much better to make sure you're safe at home." All right? Or you're worried about their finances. You want to make sure that they're protected from those a lot of scam out there targeting seniors. And on our website is also a blog about these scams and how to prevent it. So do check out our website. Remember, the goal right now when we're doing a conversation is connection, not confrontation. We're trying to connect with our seniors. All right. I mentioned earlier about the key resources that we have for families. We have Elder Care Locator, and I have it there, 1-800-677-1116, or eldercare.acl.gov. That's an option there you can use. The Alzheimer's Association is also the alz.org that you can reach out to if you have parents with Alzheimer's, dementia. The National Council on Aging, It's there that benefits for any benefits you need as a caregiver or fall prevention. And here in the Treasure Coast, we have the Council on Aging St. Lucie, both in Port St. Lucie and in Fort Pierce. And in Martin County, we have the Council on Aging at the Kane Center. And I think even there's one in Vero Beach as well. But again, you have at your support the National Council on Aging. Also, you have the Area Agency on Aging. All right. So the area agency and agent of the Palm Beach Treasure Coast covers this area as well. So you can reach out to them. A lot of education they'll do for caregiver, fall protection, and benefits, Meals on Wheels delivery. All right. And you also have us. You have us, the Treasure Coast Senior Placement Solutions, a RN led local expertise and advocate for seniors in the community. What would happen if your loved one had a crisis tomorrow or today? What would you do? The best senior living decision happen before the emergency room visit, not during it. Planning early creates safer outcomes, less stress, and more dignity for everyone involved. The Treasure Coast Senior Placement Solutions is here to help you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for attending. Any questions? We're here for you. Our number is 772-732-1223. Our website is www.tc, that stands for Treasure Coast, tc-seniorliving.com. Then we also have our Zillow for all the facilities in the Treasure Coast. And I'll give you the link in a minute. I'll show it to you. We have YouTube, we have Facebook information, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. You can find us all there to help you. We have educational stuff on our website to help you. All right. So we value your time. We have a QR code. If you scan it, we'll take you straight to our website to get our free senior living readiness checklist. It talks about the options for the readiness for assisted living versus a memory care. It talks about, am I ready? It gives a check. It's a checkbox screen that you check off to see how ready you are for senior living. All right. So I want to show you what our Treasure Coast Senior the facility is like. So if you log on to the Tour Senior Living, that if you click on the link, it takes you to this one of our websites, and it lists over 109 communities. We have about 113 on that list right now. Communities for care homes, assisted living, independent living, memory care, and it lists all the facilities. You can do a visual to virtual, and then you can call us after the virtual tour and says, I want to physically see a community, and then we'll be there to help you tour the facility. Then I have also a checklist asking you which is the best fit for me. So I have like 3 slots, and you compare. I visit number 1, did they have what I wanted? Number 2 had more of what I wanted. Number 3, that was the best fit for me. So have you compare, and then you decide which is the best fit after the tour, and then you get placed and a follow-up to ensure that you're happy there. To mention, we mentioned earlier about the communities. So in the Treasure Coast, we have multiple facilities. Vero Beach, that here is mainly for your memory care. They have a lot of facilities for memory care. So if I'm living in Port St. Lucie and my mom and dad need memory care, I would not want a facility that's next to me, that's assisted living. I would want to send them to Vero Beach, where it's better for them to address memory care. If I'm living in Vero Beach, though, and all I need is assisted living, I might not want to stay in Vero Beach because that's more geared to memory care. I might want to be see a facility that's in Port St. Lucie area, the St. Lucie County, or in Martin County, Stewart area, that are more independent living and assisted living. So, although the communities are there, not the closest one might be the best one. The best one might be another county or another city, not necessarily where you're living. What's best for you? All right. And the final website I want to show is our home website, where you can find um, again, we're RN-led free senior living placement that helps families. Our number is there, 772-732-1223. And on it, we have a resource drop down here where you can find, or at the very end of each page is a contact us, how to reach us, and it tell us what you need. I need the checklist. I also need the list touring multiple senior living, how to choose the right one. And give us your name and number, email, and we'll send it off to you free of cost. Right? So has been a wonderful night talking with you about senior living. We appreciate your time. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you so much for spending the time with us. Remember, we're here to guide you as seniors. We're here to support you as families, and we're here to give you peace of mind. I'm Faith Marie Griffiths again, your senior placement advisor. I'm an advocate for seniors. I'm a powerful attorney. I have walked the walk. Now let's talk the talk together. Have a great evening. Thank you again.